In the video of Secret, you're being baptized. I was wondering if you came to peace with your Catholic upbringing.
The holy water wasn't necessarily that I was being baptized. It's like kind of like a cleansing, and it's not specific religiously. It actually has very little to do with Catholicism, and it's just, I mean, water itself is a symbol of birth or rebirth, and I think it probably has more to do with, as I said earlier, just a kind of spirituality that draws from many religions, not necessarily Catholicism.
How do you fulfill your spiritual need?
Through my work, through my writing, yeah. Through my relationships with people.
Some of them can really help you see clearly in life?
Sure.
And are there people that you met recently, or they've been there all along?
It depends. I mean, there are people that I've known for a long time. There are people that I come to know that are very spiritually evolved and have influenced me. And then, as far as my work goes, the process of writing is a very cathartic and reflective, and can also be very spiritual. Like, you can discover things as you're writing. They can bring you a certain amount of tranquility, peace, or happiness.
In Secret, you're saying happiness lies in your own hands. Is this something you discovered very recently?
I think I probably knew it all along, but I think the simplest truths in our lives are like right in front of our noses, and sometimes it takes a long time before you can actually recognize it, and then when you do, you say, well, that's so simple, and but why didn't I just apply that to my life? Yeah.
Well, love has been a big inspiration throughout the album. I know you're thinking about having children also. Do you think you're ready to do that soon?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
And do you think you're ready to make the sacrifices also that you might, I don't know, you love working so much, you might have to put some stuff away?
Uh-huh. I look forward to making those sacrifices.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And having a quiet life.
Well, I don't know if it'll be so quiet. I think there's probably going to be a lot of screaming.
Yeah. What kind of mother do you think you're going to be?
I don't know. I think I'll just learn as I go.
There's a lot of talking about back home in Quebec that your mother comes from Quebec. How much of it is true?
It's true.
Yeah?
Not my mother, my grandmother.
She was living in Quebec.
Well, that's where her family comes from.
Okay.
But my mother grew up in Michigan. But it's true.
Since your mother died when you were very young, I was wondering if you're in peace with death, if you know a lot about death, if you're afraid of it.
I don't know anything about death since I've never died. But I've certainly been around it since a very young age. And I've had, I mean, I seem to be surrounded by it to a certain extent because of AIDS. A lot of my friends have died of AIDS, and when I was younger, my mother died, then my uncle died, and then my grandfather died. It seemed like everyone was dying all the time, so death was this kind of obsession, strange obsession that I had, because it was so mysterious. And it always took away the people that I loved. So yes, I am afraid of it. But I think as I grow older and the more that I know, I think the less afraid of it I am.
What do you think happens after?
I think that your soul goes somewhere else, that you're reincarnated. Yeah.
So you've had previous life?
Definitely.
Think About is the next single on the album?
Yeah.
It sounds like a farewell song. You wrote the lyrics?
It's funny, everybody has different reactions. One, I mean, it's meant to be a love song, farewell song to someone that I loved. But lots of people have heard it and said that they thought that it was like suicidal, or that I was looking in the mirror and saying goodbye to a certain part of my life or a certain side of me. I never thought about it that way, quite frankly, when I was writing it. I think that's interesting. But I wrote it specifically about someone.
What do you think is misunderstood about Madonna?
There's that question. Oh. Why don't you tell me, just to make it more interesting?
Okay.
Because everyone always asks me that.
Yeah.
Like, what's the biggest misunderstanding or miscalculation? Now that you sat here and talked to me, now that you know me completely,
okay. I think you're a much more sensitive person than you show.
How about I'm a much more sensitive person than people would like to think that I am? I think that I show a lot of sensitivity.
Yeah, it's true. Maybe they don't see it.
They don't want to see it.
Why do they prefer when you're strong and...
I don't think it's that they prefer. I just think that when you become a celebrity or an icon, it's too difficult for people to endow you with more than one characteristic. You're either the nice girl or the bitch or this or the that, but you can't be a full human being, which is certainly what I am.
And there's a lot to explore still for you. It's like, seems like people look back, you're already somewhere else.
Exactly. Catch me if you can.
Merci beaucoup, Madonna. Merci pour me écouter.
You're welcome.
Ben ça y est, j'ai fait mon entrevue avec Madonna. Ça a bien été, même si j'étais pas mal gênée. D'ailleurs, ça devait paraître pendant l'entrevue.
Okay, stand by. You got time code 33, 34, 35, 36, okay, 37, speed.
Et puis elle, j'ai déjà vu être plus dure en entrevue avec des journalistes, donc je savais pas trop à quoi m'attendre. J'avais peur un petit peu, mais ça a très bien été. C'est pas nous qui avons filmé l'entrevue. Il y avait deux caméras, une caméra sur moi, une caméra sur Madonna, et elle pouvait donc contrôler l'image comme ça. Il y avait un petit moniteur qui était placé à côté de moi sur le fauteuil. Je pouvais jeter un coup d'œil de temps en temps pour voir si l'image lui plaisait. Et puis après l'entrevue, ben, je lui ai demandé de signer mon disque. Alors j'ai un autographe de Madonna. Puis elle a été très gentille. Elle m'a dit « Nice to meet you ». Elle m'a dit qu'elle aimait beaucoup mes cheveux rouges.
OK. Merci. Nice hair.
Thanks.
Et puis moi, ben, ça a été, je pense, la plus grande entrevue depuis que je suis à Musique+. Ça m'a fait très plaisir.